Like she once told me, like while we were really deep in that vibe, she told me like she can feel the pain of two crows. When she observes two crows when they're fighting each other, she feels so bad for those two crows because she can feel like an empath. She can feel the pain and the suffering in that moment when two crows are fighting each other. She feels really hurt. I really felt that, like that was really deep, right? Like if you're able to have that kind of consciousness where you go really deep and you see two crows fighting, and we observe that every day on a daily basis, things like that, right? Two pigeons, two crows, two dogs on the street fighting each other, two cats. We just don't care because the fast-paced society doesn't allow us to care so much for all those things. But it's just, I felt the depth of that situation, like that, what she said basically. So anyways, yeah, like, I think what I'm trying to say is that, like, our relationships fail because we are not patient, really. And to women, I just have to say that women have to really participate in the game. Like, we have to, as a species, act more evolved, and not act like we have to um, really, you know, be an active perpetuator of the human consciousness evolution. Like, if our consciousness doesn't evolve and stays in that barbaric time period where women were getting wet, like because of that evolution, women are getting wet because they see this man who can rough them up in the bed. I mean, uh, if that is where we are in a society, then it's really sad, right? I mean, because um, modern evolved society should be one where masculine energy doesn't have to be animalistic, um, or how should I say this? Like, masculine energy doesn't have to be so um, violent, I guess. I mean, masculine energy requires, whenever there's a need for violence in society, masculine energy has to stand up and participate in that violence in order to protect the feminine energy, I guess. That's how things work. But in a more evolved society, there should be no need for extreme masculinity. There should be more, uh, because the masculine and feminine balance is so delicate. Masculine energy is so strong and vibrant, not so strong, basically, is that it can easily dominate and basically kill feminine energy. So masculine energy is required in less quantity, so as we have to be careful as a society. If we let too much of masculinity overpower our societies, what will happen is it will kill the feminine energy, which is right now kind of the situation in India. India has feminine energy, but I don't think it's the I mean, it could be better. The feminine energy is suppressed in India. It is trying to blossom into that beautiful flower, but it's somehow facing so many resistance and barriers. Even though India has that feminine love and feminine beauty to even its masculine forces, but I think we're getting there. Things are getting better. And coming on to another angle that we can see this topic to is the whole feminist movement and the feminine movement. Basically, the feminist culture and the feminism. It's called feminism, right? Yeah, feminism. Yeah, and the feminist culture. What happens is People at our current, again, the Western paradigm. In India, we don't see that much of that either. In India, we see really appreciate feminism. But yeah, even right now in India, there's so much backlash when it comes to feminism and feminist culture. The problem is that, and in Western culture, we are currently seeing like a huge backlash against feminism. It's the backlash is so bad that so many channels that were promoting, like on YouTube, so many channels who were promoting feminism, they're like dying. Really, honestly, feminism is really dying and really under attack. Like I don't want to say dying, but feminism and feminist culture is really under attack. And the reason why it happened is because we are unable to see, again, past our gender identities. So what frankly speaking I'm seeing here is that feminist culture, to its core, it was about feminism. It was about the value and uh, the not the dominance, but it's like feminism as a movement, as a culture, is about the world like able to see and celebrate the beauty of feminine energy. I mean, I'm not exactly able to put it into words like how I see feminism, but what happens is that, again, like, see, Western women who started feminism, like who started this whole culture and movement, the feminist movement, it was all going good. Women got the rights to vote. In so many countries, women, for example, in Saudi Arabia, women were not allowed to drive, which recently they passed some law. Now that women can drive, which is like really great. Like that finally happened. But the thing is, like you see, in Western society, especially, why feminism is hated is because the women uh, are participating in this hate culture in order to promote feminist culture and feminine culture. What you can see, the perfect example of this is Hollywood. What Hollywood was doing for the last few years, they have been promoting this extreme, this hate culture, this hate towards men, and like, you know, how men are stupid, men are evil, men are rapists, men are unevolved, men are horrible. This culture that was being perpetrated by the Hollywood liberal media, and this is, I think, is the biggest reason for the backlash and the hate for feminist culture and feminism. Basically, is because feminism is about the promotion of feminine culture, so that as a society we are able to see the beauty of feminine culture. Because feminine energy, like I said, it's like a flower, it's a delicate flower. It's being suppressed by all the masculine forces. So because as a society, the more conscious you become, you realize that just because you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter what your personal energy is. The entire spectrum of energy, both masculine and feminine, the entire energy field is important, because ultimately, now this is again like which I observed through my non-dualism awakening. So I had some like brief exploration into spiritual awakenings, which helped me see something beyond my human abilities, my human self. So ultimately, actually, the truth is like everything is one, the whole universe, and we are right now in this human form, but ultimately forms change. When we die, we change forms. Everything is one. The whole universe is one. So what happens is, if you're a man, so men, let's say men are observing that feminists are hating men. So men form the conclusion that, oh, so feminism is about male hatred. So this is bad for us men. So why should we promote it? Let's destroy feminism. Let's destroy feminists. So what happens is, when if you're a man, so men are observing that feminists are hating men. So men form the conclusion that, oh, so feminism is about male hatred. So this is bad for us men. So why should we promote it? Let's destroy feminism. Let's destroy feminists. But and even women participated in that because of the whole male hatred thing that happened with feminism. But the problem here is like, yeah, that was the problem. Like, because feminism uh, began by hating male and masculinity, but masculine and feminine, again, that balance is important. Without um, like you can't expect the whole world to become feminine, and like it's complicated. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say here. They try to understand what I'm trying to communicate. Is that, see, we have to, like what I told you about the non-dualism and the whole we are being one. Everyone is actually one. There's no separate individuals. That's an illusion we live under. And even society is awakening to that fact as well. Uh, I had certain glimpses to that enlightening fact, but I'm not like I didn't have a full awakening or whatever. But irrespective of that, I'm just bringing that because it helps you. It will help me to communicate from where I'm coming from with this topic. Like, so basically, we have to think beyond our gender identities, and we have to be think beyond our animalistic instincts when it comes to relationships. We just can't uh, think of forming a long-term relationship just based on the basic animalistic sexual attractions. Relationship in the long run is about what? What is it about? Again, coming back to the baseline question, what is why are your relationships ruined, or why do your relationships keep failing? It's because you don't approach your relationships with what? With love. You don't care about love. You're all in this very materialistic world. I'm sorry, like I don't have a green screen. I mean, this is just a Zoom background effect. But anyways, um, when it comes to relationships and frankly speaking, any aspect of our lives, our approach to that particular problem is never in this materialistic world. It used to be different in the early days. In our parents' generation, for them, relationship was like love first, and sexual nature was like it was a aid. That whole sex and sexual thing was an aid to love. Like love was above the whole sexual factor. But in today's time, sexual nature, animalistic, pre-evolutionary, Neanderthal, unevolved, that animalistic lizard kind of reptilian brain sexual mindset that is being focused and that is being perpetuated in this today's consciousness, that collective consciousness that we live in. In our parents' time, it used to be love over, like I said, sexual nature was just it was an aid to love. It was an aid to love. But today it's different. Like women are like they're, oh, this guy is approaching me, but he's not macho enough. He's not masculine enough, and that whole thing is what? It's all related to sex, and it's all very sexual in nature. Which is fine, which is all good. Sex is very healthy, but there's no love in it. You're not approaching. Your approach has to be the one with love. If you don't approach your relationships, if you don't approach that partner with love, patience, how do you cultivate patience? With love. It's all about love. So if you don't approach, now it has to be love from both sides. One-sided love doesn't work, just dies out. It's like doesn't work. It has to be participants in a relationship, in a romantic sexual relationship is two. So both of them have to equally approach each other with love. So that's how like love, the collective love becomes one. Two people become one. It has to be love. If there is no love,